All right, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So on today's Career Lab, we're going to be talking about networking and all the good stuff that comes with that. Uh, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about all that, and then we're going to also transition and talk a little bit about our upcoming events for our office this semester and also the services that we offer. So let's go ahead and dive in. So just to give a short introduction of myself, my name is Travis Plunkett. I am the Employer Relations Coordinator here in the Career Services office. I've worked in career service for just a little over 3 years at this point. I got both my degrees from Murray State. I have a bachelor's in agricultural science with an emphasis on agronomy. And then I also got my master's in post-secondary education as well. So you might be thinking, why should you network? What exactly is networking? Well, it's the art of building mutually beneficial professional relationships and alliances. It's accessing the knowledge and wisdom of others. A reciprocal activity. It's a professional give and take. You've probably heard this term a lot in your life where people say it's not what you know, but who you know. Well, that really comes into play with networking. It's very, very important, especially when looking at your overall career and looking at advancing yourself. You got to get out there. You got to be able to network with individuals. You got to connect with faculty and staff. You got to connect with people from companies. Connect with your career staff. As you build these professional relationships, as you build a partnership with these individuals, when it comes down the road, when it's time for you to apply for jobs, when it's time for you to be able to get in there and get started with a career, these networks that you've built, these connections that you've built, they are what's going to help you ultimately achieve your goals. So when thinking about the benefits of networking, 40% of new hires come from employer referrals. Think about that number. So 60% of these jobs are done, so just applying, but 40%, which is a large number, comes from referrals from within that company, which means you've met somebody in that company, you've built a relationship with them, you've networked with them. They are going to be the ones who refer you to be hired for this position. So think about that number. 40% of jobs are attained from someone within, knowing somebody within that company. Over 85% of jobs are never advertised on job boards. This means 85% of jobs are never posted on Indeed. They're never posted on Monster. They're never posted on Handshake, which is our online system. They're not posted online. They are gained through who you know. They're gained through those professional networks that you have built already. And individuals who find positions through networking tend to be more satisfied. And this really reigns true because there's a kind of a sense of saying where you're going out there, you're applying for all these jobs on Indeed, you're applying for jobs on Handshake or Monster or something like that. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But you do that over and over and over. It gets a little repetitive and redundant. But if you get a job through a connection, you're going to feel a little more satisfied about that because you put the work in for it. You built that professional relationship. You built that network with that individual. And ultimately, that led to you getting hired for this position. So it gives you a little bit more of a self-satisfaction. And then you also earn a higher income. And this comes into play because you know these people, which means you have a little bit more negotiating power when it comes to your salary because they know you as an individual. They probably know what your key skills are. They probably know what those qualifications are that you possess, which means when it comes to negotiating income, you have a little bit more power because they already know a lot about who you are. So when it comes to networking, apologize about that. So some of the things you need to have is you need to have an up-to-date resume. And this one's really, really important because when you network with individuals, you got to have a resume on hand because when you're talking to them, you're probably talking about the company, you're talking about the job position, and they may, hey, do you mind if I have a copy of your resume? Well, make sure you have a good up-to-date resume on hand. And of course, come to our office. We're happy to sit down with you. Our staff are happy to help out. Our peer career advisors, which is our student workers, are happy to help you out with your resume as well. So make sure you take advantage of us. Make sure you come to us, get your resume updated, get it set up, and ready to roll. One important thing that a lot of people don't think about is having a voicemail set up. I can't tell you how many times I call people and they don't have a voicemail box set up. So it's like, how the heck do I get a hold of you? I've tried to reach out to you so many times and your voicemail box is not set up. So it's very difficult. So make sure you have a nice professional voicemail setup. It don't have to be anything fancy, but it needs to be professional as well. It could be something along the lines of, "Hi, you free Travis Plunkett. I am currently away from my phone right now, but please feel free to leave your name and contact information and maybe a short description on what you're needing, and I'll be happy to get back to you." That's a nice, precise, just short, professional message for people who call you. So I can't stress enough to get that voicemail set up. Of course, having the right attitude. This is a big, big topic here. Like, I know it may not seem like it is, but it is. So when you go to network with people, as you talk to them, as you conversate with them, your attitude really plays a factor in to determining who you are as an individual. So you need to be positive. You need to be willing to explore and innovate. So don't just go up there with the thought process of, I'm going to speak to this person just to get a job. No, you're going to speak to them. Sure, getting a job is your ultimate end goal, but you need to also be wanting to build a relationship with this individual. So having that right attitude. Eye contact's a big one. I don't want you to stare them down the whole entire time you're talking to them, but I want you to keep a good, constant eye contact with them and don't just veer off. Because if I'm talking to somebody and they're just sitting here looking down the entire time they're talking to me, that's not really exciting, right? Like, if I was doing this during this whole session, it wouldn't be real exciting. You think I'm not paying attention, or I just don't want to really conversate with you. So eye contact is so important. Smile. Smile's a big one. Even when you're on a phone call with an individual, smiling plays a big factor in everything. So smiling shows that you're positive. It shows that you're excited. It shows that you're interested. Even when you're on the phone and you're talking to somebody, they can actually tell if you're smiling over the phone, because there's a certain kind of, it goes back to that attitude factor. There's a certain kind of attitude and tone of voice that factor into when you're on the phone or anything like that. So make sure you smile when you network with people. Business cards with contact information. Now, in the time of the COVID, a lot of people are not handling business cards right now. But if COVID wasn't around, business cards are definitely a thing I would suggest having. It don't have to be anything fancy. It could be just something really small. And I'll show mine right here. So as you can see, it's just something very basic. It's nothing, important. It has the company logo. If you're not working for anywhere, all you need is like a name, your contact information. You can even put a little picture on there of yourself if you want to. That's fine. With COVID going on, of course, business cards aren't exactly handed out that often. So making sure you just provide that contact information to individuals either through email or a message of some sort. But just make sure they have that information. So networking ideas. There's lots of ideas when it comes to networking. So some of the people you should really focus on: friends, professors, parents, coworkers, past acquaintances, vendors, service professionals. There's so many connections that you can make. Friends, of course, are a great one. Friends meet a lot of people. They know a lot of people. So building a connection with them is great. Your professors, faculty, staff, all these are great individuals to network with. I mean, network with me, network with other people in our office. We know a lot of people. I've met lots of people from companies. I can actually get you personally connected with several people. So network with us. We know a lot of people. Your faculty and professors know a lot of different people. Parents, coworkers, they're all great people to network with. Some even crazy ones to think about is, say if you went to get your hair cut. We all get our hair cut, I think. The person who cuts your hair, they're a great networking source. I know that seems very odd, but it's true, because think about it. They sit there and cut several different people's hair all day, and they always, they like to conversate with you and everything. So say maybe earlier that day they talked to an individual who is hiring for their company, some just whatever industry that is. And well, you come in later to get your hair cut that same day and everything, and you're just talking with the person as they're cutting your hair, and you're like, yeah, I'm in the process of looking for a job and blah, blah, blah industry. And they go, hey, I actually talked to somebody earlier today that is hiring for that industry. So boom, you already have a connection right there. You've built a network. So I know that seems odd, but those are actually strong connections to have. Become a member of a professional organization. Lots of professional organizations out there. So no matter what major you're in or what career path you're looking at, there's always organizations out there for it. So look on LinkedIn, look on social media, look online. There's always an organization, I promise you. Attend our career fairs. So in the past, a lot of our career fairs obviously were in person. Now, with this semester, with COVID and everything, we're actually hosting virtual career fairs this semester. So it's going to be a little different. They're going to be through our Handshake platform. So they're going to be conducted in either video or chat or something like that. But they're still a great place to network with individuals. So even if you're not looking for a job right now, but attending and just meeting with these individuals, talking to them, and just getting your name out there, I can't stress how important that is. So if you're interested, I'm gonna talk about career fairs a little later on in the presentation. So just kind of stay tuned for that. Make contact with area professional groups. There's lots of local groups as well. Look here at Murray State. There is lots of organizations here on campus for different programs, for different areas. Get involved with them. Get connected with them. And a big one, contact alumni. People who have been through the same program as you, they are great people to network with. You can connect with them usually on LinkedIn. You can reach out to our alumni here on campus. The office here, they could probably get you connected with some alumni as well. But get connected with them. They've been through what you're about to go through. They've been through college. They've been through the job search process. Use their knowledge, use their experience to your advantage. So, how to remember people. This is a big topic, actually. So, when it comes to actually remembering people, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not great at it. I'm terrible at remembering names, but I'm great at remembering faces. But here's some tips to kind of help you remember people when you go to meet them. Repeat their name when introduced. So if I'm meeting you, I'll be like, hi, my name is Travis. When you go to introduce yourself, hi, Travis, it is nice to meet you. Repeat their name, because the more you repeat it, the more it's going to stick in your head a little bit. Use their name during a conversation. So maybe you're talking about certain things. Maybe you're on this big topic that you are both interested in. So you can be, so hey, Travis, you kind of mentioned this topic and doing this and blah, blah, blah. So use their name periodically throughout the conversation. That'll really help that name stick in your head. Assign a visual to their name. Okay, so there's lots of saying. Everybody has different features and stuff like that. So you can assign a visual to that person. So maybe they were wearing a funny tie, had like, I don't know, tacos on it or something like that, something crazy. So maybe they're wearing a tie with tacos on it. Well, I can be like, okay, this guy had a tie with tacos. I'm not going to forget him, obviously. So assign that visual to them. That way, if you get lost in a crowd or if you want to find them later on, maybe you're at a conference or something and you want to connect with them or something, you just be like, hey, there he is. I see that guy wearing a taco tie. Go contact him. Write down further details that may be helpful. So as you're talking to a student, write key details about who they are. Who they are, what they do, where they work at, anything like that that can help you identify this person later down the road. All right, so I added this in here today because I was like, this is a very important thing because obviously with COVID and everything going on, we're doing a lot of networking online, which means we're networking via Zoom, we're networking in other platforms. This could be Skype, this could be Facebook, it could be anything like that. So here are some tips for networking via Zoom or a similar platform such as that. So you want to have a nice, quiet, professional-looking space for the call. So if you're doing a video call or even a phone call, pick a nice, quiet place away from distractions, away from pets, away from other people, where you can focus. It's quiet. There's not a lot of background noise as well. Obviously, if you're on Zoom or anything like that, you want to be in a nice, professional-looking space. Obviously, I would not suggest sitting in your bedroom. I don't think sitting in your bathroom is a great idea. So try to find a nice professional space for it. And if you have like an interview with an employer, like via Zoom or something like that, we actually have professional office space here in Career Services that we actually let students use for that. So just FYI, make sure your background is appropriate. This is a biggie. So be aware of what's in your background. I know, I mean, we could be sitting at home. Be watchful of what's in your background. Anything that could, bring you down as an individual. It could be preferences that you have back there. And I'll be honest, even like if you have like your favorite baseball team or sports team, be careful about having that stuff in the background, because I know it's a little petty, but maybe the employer, likes an opposite team or something like that. And they're like, oh gosh, this guy, so White Sox person or something like that. So just be careful of what's in that background. Be wary of it. If you're using Zoom, play around with some virtual backgrounds. Zoom actually has a virtual background feature now. Not all computers support it, but a lot of them do. And these are just like backgrounds you can use on Zoom without a green screen. So they can just be, and I suggest these be nice professional pictures. So a lot of mine I have on my personal computer are like the Murray State gates and stuff, and I'll put that behind me. So that kind of helps, especially if you don't have a professional space to go to and you got to be in like your bedroom or something. You can use the backgrounds to kind of block out your bedroom, and it just focuses on you as an individual. Make sure you dress professionally. And I don't mean just from, if you're in a Zoom, I don't mean just from waist up. I mean dress completely up for a Zoom call. I want you to have the dress shoes. I want you to have the dress pants, dress shirt, whatever that may be. Dress professional, because when you're in on that Zoom call, it is so easy to, sit there in your pajamas or something like that, where you're like, oh, they can't see it, right? Well, they probably cannot. But do you want to risk that happening? And it's also going to be on your mindset the whole time. You're only saying, oh gosh, I got to make sure they don't see my pajama pants. So just go ahead and dress completely professional. Then you don't even have to worry about it. So some Zoom best practices to think about. Jump on the call early. So it don't have to be super early, but 5 to 10 minutes early just to test everything out. Test out your mic, test out your camera, make sure your background is appropriate, and anything like that. Just test everything out and make sure you are ready to roll. Another best practice is to mute your mic when others are talking. So this comes into play, especially if you're in a group setting. So maybe there's 5 or 6 of you in a group or something like that, and someone else is talking at them. Make sure you just go ahead and mute your mic, because this helps decrease background noise. And of course, if you got a call for something like that, it isn't interrupting them as they're talking. So make sure others in your vicinity are aware that you're on a professional call. So if you're Zooming from home and you got family or something, make sure they know that you are on a call right now. You are in a professional setting. You do not need to be interrupted. I can't tell you how many times that's happened where someone's gotten interrupted by a family member, not realizing, and they just kind of walk through the room or something like that. Try your best to make sure to notify everybody in the home that you are on a Zoom call right now. Be prepared for technical issues. Technology is not perfect. Things are going to happen. Zoom calls are going to fail. Something will go wrong. So be prepared for stuff like that to happen, and don't panic. Don't get nervous. Don't get scared. It happens. They're all aware of technology glitches. It's a thing. So just be prepared for that. It may happen on their end. It could happen on your end. And if it does happen on your end, just let them know. And I apologize for the technical issues. They're not going to be mad. They understand technology. So those are just some tips for networking via Zoom or some kind of other online platform. All right. So thinking about entering a conversation, this is more now for like an in-person kind of setting. Now I did throw this down here at the bottom. Make sure you're adhering to all COVID guidelines if you're doing any kind of social activity. So a lot of places aren't hosting in-person events right now, but if they do, just make sure you follow guidelines and practice best practices there. So, but just take COVID out of your mind right now. We're just going to focus on what it's like to enter a conversation if this was an in-person event. So say you went to a conference. There's a lot of people, lots of conversations going on. So here's how to get yourself in there. Seek openings in groups. So people naturally like to congregate in groups of circles or whatever like that to kind of talk and everything. Look for a little opening. So if there's like a gap between two people, go ahead, push your way in there. I know it's weird, but it's okay. That's what conferences and that's what networking events are for. So go ahead and throw yourself in there and get started. But before you do that, kind of eavesdrop a little bit. Eavesdrop and see, does this conversation seem a little personal? Is it intense? Like, is this really a hot topic that I don't want to be in on? Kind of think about that stuff. And if you don't really think it's an appropriate conversation for you to enter, go ahead and stay out of it. Stand by and make eye contact. Not in a creepy way, though. Don't be like staring somebody down like this the whole time. But just kind of stand around, look around the room, look for other individuals who are standing alone. That goes down to this other point. If someone's standing alone, try to make eye contact with them. Because once you make eye contact, then you're able to kind of connect, and it makes you feel a little less uncomfortable. Listen to conversation and find a way to contribute. So it's easy for us to kind of take over the conversation, as you see down here on the airport, to dominate. Try to steer away from that. You do not want to control the conversation the whole entire time. Make sure other people have the opportunity to speak. And then look for a way where you can enter the conversation and contribute yourself. So maybe this is a topic that, oh gosh, I have a lot of ideas for this. I've done something like this. Well, speak up. If they say, does anybody have any thoughts on, how this can be done? But, oh, I do. I've actually done something very similar to this. So jump in on that conversation at this point. Then actively seek out people you want to connect with. So anytime you go to a conference or any kind of network event, there's usually a target audience that you want to connect with. So go out there, seek them. So if there's certain companies attending this network event, but these are the industries that I want to eventually look into joining, or these are the industry that I'm looking at getting a job in right now. Seek out these individuals and kind of make a plan for yourself to connect with them. Now, how to introduce yourself. I know this seems very easy probably, but I do like to kind of cover this topic. If this is not COVID times, you start with a good eye contact and a nice firm handshake. Now, with this being COVID, good eye contact is still a good one. And then you adhere to whatever you think is appropriate. A lot of people like to do elbow bumps, or maybe you just, bow, or you just talk to them like normal, just, hi, nice to meet you. But start with your name. Hi, my name is Travis Plunkett. I went to school at Murray State University, where I attained my bachelor's in agriculture and my master's in post-secondary education. And then you go on to the target. What do you do? What would you like to do? So I said, after I finished my education, I was like, I am ultimately looking to pursue a job in student affairs. And then you kind of wrap up your introduction with your skills and qualifications that you want to use to market yourself. So I said, yeah, I'm looking to pursue a career in student affairs because I believe my qualifications, where I have been an employee relations coordinator, I have done this, and that, and just kind of outline briefly a little bit about yourself and your qualifications. Now, don't ramble on for like 5 minutes about yourself. Wrap this up in about a minute or less. I'll usually closer to around 30 seconds. So that's kind of how you want to do this. All right. Some of you might be wondering, what are some good conversation starters and topics? Because it can be a little difficult. Like, how do I start a conversation? What's the best way to do it? Well, here's a few things to do. Offer a genuine compliment about the individual. So maybe they have their hair done, it's really nice, or something like that, or they have something on that you really like. We'll go back to the taco tie. So I see the guy, he's got the taco tie on. I love tacos myself. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I really love that taco tie of yours. So it's a genuine compliment about something. That kind of gets the conversation rolling. Talk about the event itself. So maybe you're attending one of our virtual career fairs coming up. Be like, hey, this virtual career fair is really neat. I think this is a really great idea. How has it been for you? Tell this person something relevant or interesting about yourself. So, hi, my name is Travis. So, fun fact, I have been in student affairs for just a little over 3 years now. I've been involved in career services for a little while now, and blah, blah, blah. Identify commonalities and use them for a basis for the conversation. So, look for commonalities. So, maybe we're going to go back to the host sports thing. Maybe you notice they love the St. Louis Cardinals or something like that. Well, Okay, cool. Myself, I also like the St. Louis Cardinals. About, hey, I noticed that you had a St. Louis Cardinals sticker on your bag or something like that. Hey, did you catch that game the other night or something like that? So, yeah, you look for those commonalities that can really start a conversation. Use small talk about interests and hobbies. So, if you discover someone who likes kayaking, I'm a big kayaker. So I say, hey, I noticed that you have like this kayaking tag or something like that. So, I also like doing kayaking. Where are some of the places you go kayaking at, or what kind of kayak do you have, and something like that. Just a little small talk about your interests and about your hobbies that you do. Some key things: make sure to avoid religious and political topics. I know we all probably have some kind of religious affiliation, or we have some kind of interest in the politics. Those are very, very hot, intense subjects, and they can go wrong very quickly. So it is best to completely avoid every bit of that. Just talk to them on a professional basis. And then before you attend any kind of networking event, prepare yourself. Prepare about 2 to 3 brief talking points to discuss with potential connections. So these points can be just anything that you would like to know. So maybe you want to talk about the company. Maybe you want to talk about what opportunities are available for you in this field. So anything like that that you would like to talk with these individuals, go ahead and prepare those points before the event even starts. All right, how to excuse yourself. This was a fun one. Obviously, when days of COVID with everything in video, obviously you're probably not going to excuse yourself from a video. But if this was in person, when exiting, and just make sure you smile, make good eye contact with them, and just say something positive in closing. Hey, I've really enjoyed this conversation, and I would love to connect with you later on. But I've got to run off to another webinar presentation I need to do right now. So just kind of close it out very nice. So an example of this, I don't want to keep you all night, but I'll touch base with you later this week. If you have not received their contact information yet, a lot of times you exchange contact information or business cards at the beginning. But if they have not, make sure you ask for that information at the end before you leave. Even if you're not going to contact them later on, go ahead and get that contact information. Okay, I want to touch on LinkedIn because with COVID, with everything going on right now, you need to be marketing yourself online, especially when it comes to professional networking. There's very, very few in-person events right now, and I don't know if that's going to change for the spring. I hope it will, but prepare yourself for them to still be virtual in the spring. So go ahead and get connected on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a nice professional networking social media site, basically. It's not Facebook, it's not Twitter, it's not Instagram, it's not anything like that. But it is a nice professional space for you to be able to get on, express yourself, and, provide connections with professional information about who you are, the individual. So a little stats about LinkedIn. There are 467 million LinkedIn users. That's a lot. But the number of active LinkedIn members is only 106. This is because people go out and make a LinkedIn account and they think, hey, I got a LinkedIn account. I'm professional. No. They just go out there and just set it up and never even touch it again after that. Do not do that. Don't be that person. Make your LinkedIn account, be active on it. Make sure you're utilizing it. There's lots of things out there. There's so many professional articles out there that you can find on LinkedIn. There's so many connections. Like there are so many companies out there. There's Fortune 500 companies out on LinkedIn. Get connected with them. 40% of users use LinkedIn daily. So that means they're getting on there. They're using LinkedIn on a daily basis. 59% use it from a mobile device. So they're accessing it from their smartphone or a device like that. So 79% use the free version. There is a premium version of LinkedIn, but you don't need it. The free version of LinkedIn is completely fine. So here's the biggest thing. You get a 13 times increase in profile views for LinkedIn members that list skills on their profiles. I can't tell you how many people just throw out their LinkedIn account. Sometimes they don't even put a picture on there. They just list out their job experience and barely put any information about that. But that's like it. They think that's all they need. No, you need to list your key skills on there. You need to list all those professional skills that you have as an individual. So maybe you're a good leader. Maybe you have good teamwork skills. Maybe you are an expert in Microsoft Office, Word, PowerPoint, whatever. Make sure those skills are on your LinkedIn profile. 41% of millionaires use LinkedIn. Bill Gates is on LinkedIn. Isn't that crazy? They're all on there. There's a lot of them. And you could actually potentially get connected with them. Now, I'm not going to promise you if you send them a message, they're going to message you back. But it doesn't hurt. So get out there and get connected with them. So if everything's saying, make sure you get a LinkedIn account set up for networking. If you need any help with it, our office is always happy to sit down with you. We're happy to go through LinkedIn and kind of help you figure out the ropes, because I'm not going to lie to you, LinkedIn can be a little confusing to use. But we're here to help you. That's what we're here for. So make sure, get your LinkedIn account set up, start networking virtually, and prepare yourself. All right. I told you earlier I was going to wrap up this presentation with a little bit of what we have to offer in our office right now. So Handshake, you've probably heard me mention this a couple of times throughout the presentation. Handshake is the online job platform that we use here in our office. So Handshake is where you're going to go to find jobs, internships, part-time jobs, on-campus jobs. This is where you're going to sign up for career fairs. This is also where you're going to attend career fairs this semester, because our virtual career fairs are actually hosted through Handshake. So get on there, get registered for these events. All of our career labs are on here, the ones like you're attending right now. And everything. You can make appointments with our office through Handshake. Basically, you need to be on Handshake. That is such a vital tool. So if you haven't already signed up, I have the link right there, murraystate.joinhandshake.com. You already have an account technically. All you do is sign up through your log in with MyGate, and you'll have Handshake already there. You might just have to answer a few questions, get everything set up. But make sure you get that Handshake account set up. Career fairs. So these are some of the vital networking events that we host every semester. Now, they are all virtual. They're going to be hosted through the Handshake platform, through either video or chat. But the big ones coming up at the end of this month are the Career and Grad School Connection Expo and the STEM Ocean Online Career Expo. So they're going to both be they're going to be September 29th and September 30th, respectively, 2 to 5 p.m. You're going to have the chance to sign up, meet with employers who are attending the event. You can meet with them either on a one-on-one basis, or they might be hosting group sessions as well. But get in there. This is a great time to network with them. And even, like I said, even if you're not looking for a job, get out there and network with them. Build a connection with them. 85% of jobs are never posted. So get out there and network with them. Other fairs we got coming up. So if you're interested in agriculture, we had the Ag Career Fair coming up on October 14th. If you're going into education, if you're going to be a teacher, that fair is coming up on Friday, November 13th. Now, that fair is usually through invite only, and the College of Education will normally let you send those invites out. The JCPenney Soup event. All right, I told you you need to dress professionally. Well, this is a great opportunity to get nice professional clothing for a pretty good price. So this event is actually coming up this weekend, September 11th through the 13th, and it's going to be all online. Here's the cool thing. All you need to do to get your 30% off coupon is text Murray to 67292. If you just text that, it's going to send you a coupon for 30% off, and you can use that to buy all kinds of professional clothing, and it's a great deal. And some of these clothing can already be on sale, and you get that 30% off that already for sale price. So make sure you take advantage of this. You can actually download the app and start kind of earning rewards and everything beforehand, but make sure you take advantage of the Soup event. This is a great way to get good professional clothing pretty cheap. Career Labs. So you are attending one right now. This is the Networking Career Lab. So as you can see, we've already had a few this semester, but we have several more coming up this semester. One of the ones I would recommend y'all, if you're wanting to attend our virtual career fairs, September 23rd, we're having a working and virtual career fair lab where we'll really dive into the virtual fairs and kind of go over them. So I'll be hosting that one again. So definitely, if you like listening to me, tune in for that one as well. And you can find all these labs on Handshake on the events tab. So just go find them, go ahead, pre-register, and then access them the day of. Candid Career. So This is an awesome site that has over 7,000 videos covering various careers and advice. So maybe if you're trying to figure out your career path, or maybe you just want some advice on, you know, what it's like to work in your career, Candid Career is a great resource to utilize. I definitely recommend it. If you need free professional headshots for LinkedIn or any other thing like that, we offer those. You do need to make an appointment through our office on Handshake, but you can make that appointment, come in, and we'll get you a nice professional headshot. And if you get a job, if you get an internship, drop by our office and let us know, and we got a free gift for you. And that is the end of the Networking Career Lab. I hope this was very helpful. I hope there's a lot of great information. And I'll now open it up for any questions if y'all have any right now. I'll kind of give that a few moments, see if anything comes in. And feel free to, you can unmute your mics if you want to just yell them out. All right. Well, I don't think we got any questions, so I hope y'all enjoyed this. And if you need any help or need anything, feel free to reach out to our office. We're always happy to help out. All right, guys. Have a great day.